Hi everybody, I'm here for my mailbox this week, and I have quite a few books to show you. I was actually worried that I wouldn't really have anything, and if you saw a tweet of mine earlier this week, you would have seen that that I was complaining about how I didn't really get anything. On Thursday, I went up to check the mailbox and there wasn't anything in there, and the only thing I'd received that week was Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, a book that I don't even really want, but I'm sending it to my friend Becca, who loves the series, so at least something good is coming out of it, and so she's really excited. But yeah, so that was going on, and then seriously, I'm not even kidding you, I tweeted out, I was just like, this has been such a horrible mail week. And not even just necessarily book wise, but just in general. There were at least 2 days this week where we didn't get anything whatsoever. Nothing. No mail whatsoever. And so it was just really, disheartening, I guess. And I was like, nobody loves us. And but then a half hour after I tweeted that, I was, cleaning around the house, and the doorbell rang, and I was just like, oh, it's probably a package, and so I went to go check, and I saw out the window the little tip, a corner of an envelope, and I was like, oh, good. And then I opened the door, and it was 5 packages just right on top of each other, and 4 of them were for Penguin, and 1 was from HarperCollins, and I was just like, whoa. So I thought that was just really interesting how that happened. So the one I got from HarperCollins is actually from their adult imprint, William Morrow. It's another advanced copy. It's coming out in February, and it's called What Happened to Hannah by Mary Kay McComas. And the author actually lives in Virginia, so I may give this one a try just because it is a Virginia author, but it does sound interesting, and so I'm a little bit excited to read it. So yeah, so um, yeah, so it's yeah. I think I've said everything I need to say about this book. Um, so I um, so now I have all the Penguin books that I have to show you. The first one that I opened was Harbinger by Sarah Wilson Etienne, and this was just on its own, and it comes out in February, and it was in its own little package, and it contained a pamphlet for Holbrook Academy, which is the school that the main character is sent to. And seriously, it's just a brochure. It's got a map. It's got a map and everything, detailed things, stuff like that. There's a contract with the guy, with the president or whatever, things like that, and more information on the back. And then the other thing, I don't have it up with me because I forgot it. It was this little doll thing, and I originally thought it was a voodoo doll. And on the back of it, what stitched into it is a link to a website, and with a username and a password. So I haven't actually gotten around to doing it yet, just because I can't seem to find where to put in my username and password. So I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, I thought that was really interesting. There was a bunch of stuff, and it turns out it was a dog toy, which was a bit odd. So, but because it squeaks. So yeah. And the author said, because we had a whole discussion about it on Twitter, said that I think it must be the kind of the general shape of the thing, and what the doll represents, that's included in the story, and I'm kind of excited to see how it's utilized in the story, because she said it's not a plush thing, nor is it a dog toy. So, but she was like, what fun would that be if it was just a regular thing, whatever it is in the book. So, so, so there's that. So I thought it was just really cool. I got an extra copy of The Right and the Real by Joelle Anthony, which I'm really excited to read, and also an extra copy of Dark Eyes by William Richter. And I think both of these, this comes out in April, and this comes out in March. I got Truth by Julia Carr, which I'm so excited about. This comes out in January. I'm really, really excited to read it. I loved XVI, and the title written this way, Truth, um, just really cool. I love how they did this, so I'm really excited to read this book. The Disenchantments by Nina LaCour. I didn't read Nina's debut, Hold Still, but I heard wonderful things about it, so I'm really excited to have her second book, and this comes out in February. There Is No Dog by Meg Rosoff, and this comes out in January. And it sounds really interesting, and the tagline on here is, "What if God were a teenage boy?" And I think that just sounds really interesting, so. And the cover's kind of cute. Radiant Days by Elizabeth Hand, and I hadn't heard anything about this, but it sounds really interesting, and yeah, so I mean, I guess I'll probably give it a shot. It comes out in April. And Ripper, the final book, Ripper by Stefan Petruka, and this is kind of about Jack the Ripper, and I assume this is Ripper because, and I'm kind of really excited about this because I was reading Name of the Star, over a month ago, and that was kind of had Jack the Ripper lore in it, and it just really interested me, and so I'm actually really excited to read this book. It sounds just really interesting. It comes out in March. So those were all the Penguin books I got. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Penguin books. So over 4 packages, I think. So, and then today, I'm recording this on Saturday, I got a finished copy of Virtuosity by Jessica Martinez. And this is actually pretty good timing because I just posted the review for this today/Saturday. So really, and it's just such a good book, and so I'm going to be donating it to my library, and I'm so glad that they'll be getting a copy of this because I hope they put it in their collection because it's just such a good book. And I also got a book I hadn't heard anything about, like anything. It's called Rush by Jeremy Iverson, and it's coming out November 15th. From Simon & Schuster, Simon Pulse specifically. So it's a paperback, but it's $11.99. But and it sounds really interesting. It's about yeah, actually, it's kind of about like fraternities and things like that, and it's just really, and it takes place in a college, and the main character is a college junior, so because originally I was kind of just like, whatever, but then I saw that, and I was just like, ooh, there's, like, hardly any books that take place in colleges, and I love reading books that take place in colleges, so I will try and fit this into my reading schedule, because this sounds really interesting, and I got this huge press release sort of thing. It's, all about it, and the origin story of the book, what else, what the critics say, meet the cast of the book, and it says Rushing Through Rush, and I'm not entirely sure, what is this? I'm not sure if this is just an excerpt or if it's something else, but yeah, I don't know, so. But yeah, but it's like, I mean, look how long this thing is, and then a contacts page. So, yeah, so it's really, it sounds really good, and can't wait to get to it. And that's all I have for this week, and I will see you guys next week, hopefully, and hopefully this video isn't too long. Bye.